So many people in this world are insecure. I mean, it's only natural when you're living in a world where there's so many successful people. You just look around and you think, why are they getting the opportunities that I am not? Why were they born with the skills that I was not? And even in reality, when you have plenty of skills that they don't have, you still can't help but feel like you're getting the short end of the stick. The truth is, no matter who you are, you have a skill that can help you grow your content. And I'm here to help you figure out what that is today. If you don't know me, my name is King. I am a small town kid from North Dakota, and I have never effectively used social media to grow my online presence. But that's going to change today. You see, there are so many channels on the internet that provide tips and tricks on how to grow online, but rarely do you get to see somebody start from square one and apply these tips to help themselves grow. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all these things that I've learned from these channels that provide advice and apply them to myself and see how far it can take me. If you want to follow along on my journey, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. And without further ado, let's get into it. Here's the thing, so many people in this world worry about fixing what is wrong with them rather than spending time focusing on their strengths. Taking this into a more broad narrative, people are concerned about their height, the way that their hair grows, their voice, their facial structure, and they spend so much time worrying about these things without realizing that there are a lot of people out there who just look at them like a normal person. Now, before you all click off this video, I know you've all heard it before. You're all smart people, and we all know that when people say that they're not good at anything, they don't really mean that they are not good at anything. Everyone is above average at something, and it's just figuring out what that something is that is sometimes the hard part. So how do we do it? A lot of people aren't good at picturing themselves in a good light. They grew up being told that being modest is a good thing, and then instead of becoming modest, they just become insecure because they can't say anything good about themselves because they're worried that they're going to sound cocky. It's not cocky, and we need to start convincing ourselves that it is okay to feel good about the things that you do. So I want you to start small. For example, I'm good at sleeping, dude. I can sleep freaking anywhere. I remember when I was a kid, I used to fall asleep at UND hockey games when there's just a stadium of screaming people around me, and I would fall asleep in my little fold-out chair that they have there. I'm good at eating food. I'll eat pretty much anything. I'm really not a picky eater, except for avocado. Once you start getting into the habit of acknowledging what you're good at, not only is your self-esteem going to increase, but you're going to be able to start picking out the things that you can actually use to your advantage. Something that I'm good at, for example, is singing. I'm not amazing, but I'm good, and that's why when Twitch Sings was released, I immediately knew that was a place that I would excel. You want to know another reason Twitch Sings is really great for me? My ability to not care what people think. I'm really good at not caring what people think. My ability to make a fool of myself without really caring makes me stand out big time on the platform. And because I recognized that early, I took advantage of it, and not only did that make me some of the best friends I have today, it also helped my channel go from 400 followers to 800 followers in like 3 months. Another way you can figure out what you're good at is literally to ask a friend or family member. Because if you have a friend out there, then that means that there's one person in the world that chose you specifically, and they chose you for a reason. Ask them what that reason is. Why are they friends with you? And I understand that a lot of people probably don't want to have this conversation because it's a weird conversation to have, but here's the thing. It's not weird. It just feels weird because we are talking about ourselves. Talking about yourself is a point of vulnerability, but it's also a point of strength. You might think that your friend is going to think that you're weird for asking that, but they're also might be impressed by the fact that you actually have the strength to ask something like that. So many people are afraid to feel uncomfortable, but in the end, if these conversations are the types of things that are going to help excel you and get to a point where you are inevitably happy, just do it. So now you've hopefully identified something that you're good at, and I know a lot of you are thinking, well, so what? I have one thing that I'm good at and 20 other things that I suck at. And my response to that is forget about them. All of them. Eliminate everything that you are bad at from your frame of mind and focus on that one thing that you are good at. And then become really good at it, because that is the one thing that is going to make you stand out. You want to hear the truth? There are more than 20 things that you suck at. There are more than 100 things that you suck at, because there are a lot of frickin' things in this world. So stop worrying what you're bad at, because you're never going to be good at everything anyway. But we've established that you're good at something. So focus on that. And make sure that people know what you're good at, because that is the new focus of your content. If you're good at a specific video game, try to teach people how to play that video game. You know, a lot of people say that the measure of how much somebody knows about something is how well they can teach it to somebody else. Oh, and by the way, if I'm explaining this well, how about you leave the video a thumbs up? Helps me out. Here's the thing, you're attempting to find your niche here. This is what's going to explode your content. Why would I watch you over somebody else? Maybe you're not good at video games, but maybe you're really good at bringing a community of people together. Start creating a video once a week where you showcase things that happen in your community. And when you start doing that, you're going to start getting more people who are participating in your community, hoping to be showcased in that video. While I'm saying this, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, King, what if I'm not good at making YouTube videos? And that's okay if you're not, but I also do think that it needs to be acknowledged that on Twitch, there is a base requirement for the job. And although YouTube itself isn't a base requirement for being a streamer, being involved on other social media platforms kind of is at this point. And I do recommend that you figure out which ones suit your strengths, because if you're not good at YouTube, maybe you are good at Twitter of just posting those little snippets and being relatable and stuff like that. Or maybe you're good at Instagram, where you can literally just document the things that you are doing on stories and get attention there. If you're very photogenic, that's probably the place for you. Maybe you even make TikTok videos or something. I don't know. Figure it out. What works for you? Gaining traffic on Twitch alone isn't easy, but to do it on other platforms is going to make it a lot easier. Again, take your strengths and push them towards those platforms. I use YouTube because I understand how it works and I genuinely enjoy the platform. Before I wanted to be a Twitch streamer, I wanted to be a YouTuber, and then later I learned that those two things can be synonymous, and they probably should be. That's for me though. Maybe you'll put more effort into Twitter, and that's okay. Editing videos for either site doesn't need to be that intense, but particularly on Twitter, where videos are generally shorter, you can get away with not knowing what you're doing a lot easier. Kind of going off of that point, there are a lot of people in content creation who don't really know what they're doing, and even broader speaking, there are a lot of people in real life who just don't know what they're doing. Most people don't know what they're doing. You're not that far behind, even though it might feel like you are, and if you take the time to actually learn what you're doing, you're going to be set. And maybe you don't even want to edit videos at all, but you know what you can do? You can go to Instagram and you can start posting stories. You can start live streaming. And just start literally documenting what you're doing on Instagram. Or don't even do that. Just go to Instagram and make a meme account and just start posting memes, but list your Twitch link in the bio or something. The possibilities are literally endless. Just figure out what you're good at and run with it. And don't just stop running in a week when you feel like it's not working, because I promise you it takes more time than that. But run with it for months. Run with it for a year if you have to. Along the way, you'll start to learn more things that you are good at and start incorporating those things into your content. Eventually, not only will you have something really unique, but you'll have something really awesome. And that right there is something that you created yourself. Something that you put in the work, the time, and the hustle to obtain. And don't tell me that it won't feel great when you get there. Record a song. Delete it. I have like the inspirational music in the background. Do it. Delete it. And then, eventually, you'll get to the point where you're like, damn, that was good. You know, I think I'm going to post this one. And you'll post it. And it'll be awesome. And then eventually, hopefully you stop using like your avatar. You don't even need to have your face on here. You can use an avatar, but you can just post with your face. It'll be awesome. The inspirational music, wasn't that great? Okay, well, let's sing with her.